Queen Medusa, after expending immense effort, finally obtained the Earth Core Flame Lotus. Driven by his desire to gain the strength needed to fulfill his 3-year promise to Xiao Yan, he vowed to seize the strange fire. However, a third party also coveted this power, stirring up a storm of conflict and shattering the peace of the Tagar Desert. Xiao Yan, traveling through the desolate desert for 2 months, finally found an oasis, feeling a surge of relief at his survival. Venturing further, he discovered stone statues of snake people and a source of water. He rushed forward, but quickly hit upon seeing someone. Before him, a woman, Medusa, danced and bathed. Yao Chen, noticing his disciple peeking, smacked him on the head for not sharing the view. Recognizing Medusa's aura as the queen they sought, Yao Chen noted the absence of the strange fire's energy. Unaware of being watched, Medusa continued her dance, summoning snake spirits. Observing her movements, Yao Chen realized it was a prayer for blessing. Legend had it that the Snake People Queen possessed a unique evolution technique. Before evolving, she had to perform this ritual within her city, seeking the ancestral snake spirit's protection. Success meant a breakthrough to the Du Zong rank, failure meant annihilation. Like Xiao Yan, she needed to absorb a strange fire to evolve. Just as Yao Chen hoped to steal the strange fire, Medusa sensed their presence. Instead of confronting them directly, she dispatched Yu Mei to deal with the intruders. Xiao Yan, evading Yu Mei's attacks, searched for Medusa, but she had vanished. The snake woman, a Du Wang expert, possessed the ability to refine energy and control the extracted spirit cores of magical beasts, preserving their power for her own use. Xiao Yan, a mere 2-star Du Shi, was at a severe disadvantage, especially with Yao Chen sensing a Du Huang nearby. He had no choice but to flee, but Yu Mei relentlessly pursued him. Meanwhile, Gu He's flying mount approached the Snake People Temple. Sensing the Du Huang aura, they suspected it was Medusa and moved to investigate. Back with Xiao Yan, despite his efforts, he couldn't shake off his pursuer. He found temporary refuge in some ruins, but Yu Mei, using her charm techniques, discovered him. Despite being ensnared, Xiao Yan, as the protagonist, quickly broke free, and their fierce battle resumed. He managed to cut her face, infuriating her and strengthening her resolve to kill him. Using her whip, she bound and flung him around, the disparity in their strength leaving him defenseless. Just as she was choking him, a mysterious woman in black appeared, intervening and saving him. The black-clothed figure, possessing Du Huang's strength, advised Xiao Yan to leave quickly. Yu Mei, seeing the young man preparing to depart, attacked him, but the woman intervened and neutralized the attack. Seeing so many powerful individuals, Xiao Yan decisively flew away. Gu He stepped forward and requested Yu Mei to grant them an audience with Queen Medusa. However, given the long-standing conflict between humans and the Snake People tribe, she wouldn't agree easily. She threatened them, saying that if they didn't leave before the arrival of the 10 Grounds leader, even the experts of the Jia Ma Empire wouldn't be able to escape. After Xiao Yan flew off, Yao Chen reappeared, identifying the leading man as Gu He, the Pill King. He guessed that Gu He was also after the Heavenly Flame. Now, Xiao Yan was caught in the middle of 2 powerful forces, leaving him with a massive headache. Somehow, after a knock on the head from his teacher, he devised a plan: wait for Gu He and Medusa to clash, then swoop in and seize the opportunity like a fisherman in troubled waters. His next destination, the temple. Back with the others, negotiations had broken down. Grandmaster Yan Shi and Windrunner Feng Lai attacked Yu Mei together. Facing a 2-on-1 assault, she used a snake-splitting technique for a wide-area attack. While everyone was busy blocking her assault, she burned her essence blood and escaped. With Yu Mei gone, the group continued their search for Queen Medusa. To infiltrate the Snake People tribe, Xiao Yan, disguised as a woman, consumed Yao Chen's snake transformation pill and became a snake person. He slithered into their territory with a dancing troupe. Meanwhile, Yu Mei, having transformed into a small snake, returned to report to Medusa. She informed the queen that Gu He of the Jia Ma Empire had brought human experts to invade their territory, including a Du Huang whose identity remained unknown. Fearing interference with the sacrificial ceremony, Medusa ordered the elders to begin the ritual ahead of schedule. She also instructed Yu Mei to place 4 boxes containing heavenly flame at the 4 corners of the temple, a trap for Gu He. Before leaving, Yu Mei also reported on the human youth who had previously infiltrated the city. Although only a douchey then, he now possessed Du Huang's strength. She wanted to capture him for research. Xiao Yan, excelling in his disguise as a snake woman, even received a playful pat on the rear from a male snake person. Yao Chen pointed towards the tallest building on the right, sensing the presence of heavenly flame. Xiao Yan slithered towards it. He saw Yu Mei emerge carrying a box containing what appeared to be heavenly flame. Just as he was about to snatch it, his teacher alerted him that it was a fake. Yu Mei, noticing his suspicious behavior, called out to him, forcing Xiao Yan to quickly retreat. Pursued by snake people guards, he reverted to his true form, dodging their attacks as he fled. He narrowly avoided being impaled by their spears and glaives. Finally escaping the guards, Xiao Yan followed his teacher's instructions and used the green lotus core flame to try and sense the true heavenly flame. Unfortunately, he couldn't sense it. When the auspicious time for the sacrificial ceremony arrived, the snake people prayed for the snake spirit's blessing. Suddenly, the green lotus core flame reacted, sensing the heavenly flame. Xiao Yan quickly disguised himself as a snake woman again and entered the temple. He was pulled into the ceremony by a snake woman, joining the tribe in praying for their queen. At that moment, Gu He and his entourage arrived on flying mounts in the sky above. The snake people tribe leaped down into the plaza, throwing the serpent men into chaos. Taking advantage of the confusion, Xiao Yan attempted to enter the forbidden altar, but was blocked. Meanwhile, Yu Mei dispatched guards to the west wing while she and the elders attempted to stall for time. Two powerful experts, Gu He and Sect leader Yuan, stepped forward, radiating a powerful aura, and ignored the threats from Yin Shi and Yu Mei. Just then, Queen Medusa appeared, indicating that she had not yet begun her evolution. Gu He offered 2 6th-grade Duling pills and a 7th-grade Huising pill in exchange for the heterodox fire, reasoning that the cold-blooded snake people wouldn't benefit much from it. Xiao Yan, caught up in the drama, didn't realize he had been spotted by the head guard who had pursued him earlier. The guard's associate, head manager Hua, prepared to attack him. Xiao Yan asked his teacher, Yao Chen, about the Huising pill. It turned out that the pill allowed magical beasts to completely shed their beastly forms and gain extended lifespans, a heaven-defying pill that enhanced human cultivation talent. Despite the tempting offer, Medusa refused and ordered the humans to leave. However, sect leader Yuan, with her vast knowledge, knew that if the Snake People Queen reached the peak of the Du Huang rank with sufficient opportunity, she could use the heterodox fire to evolve in a unique way, not only freely transforming into a human, but also advancing to the Du Zong rank. Furthermore, she realized that the presence before them was merely a projection of the Queen's will. As expected, with a small exertion of power, sect leader Yuan dispelled the projection. Thinking quickly, Xiao Yan agitated the Snake People tribe into firing arrows, hitting Gu He and igniting a battle. The other humans joined the fray. Seeing the situation deteriorating, Yin Shi ordered Yu Mei to protect the altar while he went to light a summoning beacon to call for reinforcements from the 8 chieftains. Xiao Yan followed the common snake people into the altar. Sect leader Yuan, seeing the elder light the beacon, tried to stop him, but was too late. Meanwhile, Gu He was too far from the heterodox fire to sense its exact location and was forced to continue fighting. Xiao Yan, seizing the opportunity to search for the heterodox fire, was caught by head manager Hua and exposed as a human. Somehow, he was mistaken for being with Gu He's group, a fortunate misunderstanding as it allowed him a temporary reprieve. Following his teacher's instructions, he dodged Hua Kai Sha's attack. Enraged, she used a violent serpent art, temporarily boosting her strength to the peak of the Du Wang rank. While others were fighting, Xiao Yan continued his search. Unluckily, he stepped on a trap, triggering a rain of arrows. Yao Chen sensed the heterodox fire beneath the rune-inscribed floor tiles and used her soul power to blast away Hua Kai Sha. Foolishly, Hua Kai Sha's tail struck another trap, causing her to be hit by her own attack. This time, the 8 extremities ice palm left head manager Hua unable to rise. Xiao Yan's punch cracked the stone floor, which unfortunately activated another trap, releasing a swarm of poisonous snakes from the ceiling. He leaped into the opening created by his punch. Rushing to summon the purple cloud-winged beast, he found it unresponsive, sending him plummeting to the ground. The unlucky young man's fall nearly shattered a pile of goods. It turned out this area was a no-fly zone. Thanks to the sea heart inner armor that Yuan Zongju gifted Xiao Yan, he didn't die from the fall. The aura of the strange fire was incredibly clear. The two disciples quickly proceeded. A fierce battle raged between two factions, but Elder He suddenly sensed the strange fire's aura in 4 locations. Determining the west to be the weakest point, he deduced that the true strange fire was likely there. Elder He, the Yuan sect's protector, dashed towards the west. After much travel, they finally spotted the strange fire on a small island. Xiao Yan was about to swim across when Yao Chen stopped him. The lake water was extremely poisonous, lethal even to Du Wang-level experts. Unable to fly or swim, they had to resort to the same desperate method used in the lava lake. His master used his soul power to encase Xiao Yan in a layer of bone-chilling ice, a tremendously draining process. Xiao Yan quickly swam towards the island, unaware of a magical beast following him. Elder He and Yuan Zongju approached the strange fire, only to discover it was a fake, much to their frustration. Meanwhile, as the Lion King and Feng Xingjia Fengla struggled, 2 powerful experts, the Lao He brothers, arrived to their rescue. Medusa created a barrier around the Kinglian Earth Heart Fire, determined to possess it even at the cost of her life. Suddenly, she spotted Xiao Yan swimming below, a cold smile gracing her lips. The young man, finally noticing the giant snake, quickly dodged and scrambled ashore. Xiao Yan hid and observed Mei Duo, who ignored him. Even if she failed to absorb the strange fire and sacrificed herself, she would not dishonor her position as the Snake Clan's queen. The beauty slit her wrist, offering her blood to summon a snake spirit to aid her in absorbing the strange fire. Yao Chen waited for the perfect moment to strike. In the distance, the queen revealed her true form. The Snake Clan, upon birth, used a secret technique to merge the souls of snake-shaped magical beasts into their bodies. This fusion of half-soul and snake-shaped beast allows them to summon their true form, greatly enhancing their power. Medusa, hoping to lead the Snake Clan back to their ancestral lands, risked her life to absorb the strange fire and advance to Du Zong level, a gamble with death. Thousands of years ago, the Snake Clan were exiled here. The desert heat is fatal to them. Returning to their ancestral land is the lifelong dream of every Medusa queen. As the queen began absorbing the strange fire, Xiao Yan felt a kinship, sharing her plight to enhance their strength to protect loved ones. Medusa couldn't withstand the fire's burning heat, collapsing as the ritual outside faltered. They witnessed their queen's failed evolution, leaving the Snake Clan devastated. Xiao Yan, moved by their shared struggle, mourned with them. Guha realized that the netherfire had been sealed beneath the altar by the queen using a barrier. He also learned that the queen's self-sacrifice for final evolution had failed, and the Snake Clan was mourning their fallen queen. Suddenly, immense celestial energy surged violently above, unleashing thunder and lightning, a celestial anomaly. Could it be that the queen hadn't failed after all, that she was gathering her last strength for rebirth? Guha and his companions had no choice but to quickly retreat, worried that they might interfere with the queen's transformation. They followed closely behind, preventing anyone from getting near. Beneath the altar, the energy net enveloping the island was shattered by lightning. Yao Chen discovered that Medusa was still alive. He urgently pulled his disciple closer, intending to seize the netherfire before she awoke. Medusa's evolution was causing a violent backlash of celestial energy. All spatial restrictions were being broken. If they lingered, both he and the boy would perish. Yao Chen, protecting Xiao Yan, was nearing the limit of his spiritual energy. Fortunately, noticing that the netherfire repelled the lightning, he urged Xiao Yan to approach. They narrowly escaped with their lives by reaching the area unaffected by the netherfire's rage. This chaotic energy was the queen's final trial to become a Du Zong, a powerful warrior. The enraged netherfire surged outwards, attacking Medusa's soul. Xiao Yan quickly deployed the Heavenly Lotus Seat to block the long-range attack. The female snake, escaping the Heavenly Lotus Seat's flames, soared into the gigantic energy orb in the sky. The orb and Medusa exploded in a blinding flash, vanishing into nothingness. The resulting fire, a byproduct of the netherfire's eruption, had the ability to corrode soul energy. Seizing the opportunity, Xiao Yan used the Heavenly Lotus Seat to subdue the netherfire. Suddenly, a purple light flashed, attempting to enter Xiao Yan's body, but Yao Chen intercepted it. This was the soul symbiotic with Medusa, the queen, a 6th-order amethyst flame serpent demonic beast. Unexpectedly, her so-called evolution was actually a soul evolution, condensing a physical body from soul power. With sufficient opportunity, it would unleash the ancient beast's bloodline within, comparable to the seven-colored sky-devouring python of a Duzon. Outside, 3 snake clan members waited for the remaining leaders of the 8 great snake clans to join forces and avenge their queen. Xiao Yan looked at the small snake in disbelief. Was this Medusa, the queen? Had the lightning strikes during her evolution rendered her mindless? Sensing no killing intent, he allowed his master to place the bone-melting ice fire on the snake. Seeing it was hungry, he fed it a drop of his life essence. He decided to keep the cute little snake by his side, as it could become a powerful ally if it evolved further. If its memories returned, however, he and his master would flee. "Young man," Yao Chen warned, "you're playing with fire. Be careful you don't get burned." Xiao Yan successfully collected the netherfire with the heavenly lotus seat and departed. Outside, Gu Ha, sensing the disappearance of the netherfire's aura, felt perplexed. Then, the flame serpent arrived, searching for the netherfire. The humans, seeing the fire extinguished, quickly entered the altar. Yun Jai and Gu He's group ventured into the underground island in search of the fallen heart flame. Upon discovering Xiao Yan leaving with it, they immediately gave chase. However, their pursuit was hampered by the 4 leaders of the Snake People tribe. Yun Jai stayed behind to hold them off, allowing Gu He to continue the chase. After a brief battle, Yun Jai used a formation to immobilize the 4 leaders, but sensing the imminent arrival of all 8 leaders, she quickly retreated. The remaining leaders arrived shortly after and broke the formation, freeing their comrades. Despite flying with all his might, Xiao Yan found himself relentlessly pursued by Gu He and his group, with Yun Jai also closing in. Determined not to lose the fallen heart flame, Xiao Yan, with the aid of his teacher's spirit, seemingly attached a motor to his wings and drastically increased his speed. Witnessing this sudden burst of speed, Gu He suspected Xiao Yan might be a Du Huang, a rank beyond his reach, and could only watch him fly away. He urged Yun Jai to quickly pursue and intercept Xiao Yan. Before leaving, Yun Jai instructed the alchemist group to leave the Tajer Desert via the Kortha Tower and regroup at Yan City. She warned them that the 8 Snake People leaders were approaching, and that protecting them would jeopardize her pursuit of the fallen heart flame. The Snake People, after tracking the scent, somehow distinguished the scents of the Du Huang, Xiao Yan and Gu He, splitting into 2 groups to pursue them in different directions. Despite his efforts, Xiao Yan was eventually caught by Yun Jai and trapped within her box-shaped barrier. Unwilling to surrender the fallen heart flame, he resolved to fight, even drawing his blade against her despite her previous act of saving him in the desert. However, upon realizing that the one who had taken the fallen heart flame was Xiao Yan, Yun Jai became angry, questioning why he was still there after promising to leave. She then surprisingly urged him to take the flame and leave, acting as if nothing had happened. Though tempted, Xiao Yan sensed something amiss. It was then that he recognized the veiled woman as Yun Jai. He happily rushed towards her for an embrace, only to be gently rebuffed, leaving him slightly embarrassed. Learning that Xiao Yan intended to use the flame for cultivation, Yun Jai expressed concern and even offered to introduce him to the Misty Cloud sect for training, citing its superior resources and power. Unaware of Xiao Yan's true identity and his grudge against the Misty Cloud sect, Yun Jai only knew his alias. Ignoring her advice, Xiao Yan angrily attempted to leave. Fearful that consuming the flame would reduce him to ashes, and confident in her superior strength, Yun Jai snatched the fallen heart flame from him. Xiao Yan once again drew his blade, and the two struggled briefly. Ultimately, Yun Jai returned the flame to the man she cared for. Though he had started to leave, Xiao Yan couldn't resist returning to embrace Yun Jai. The two lovers shared a tender moment, much to the chagrin of any onlookers. He told Yun Jai that if he failed to absorb the flame, she should forget him. He apologized before finally departing. Shortly after Xiao Yan's departure, the Snake People leaders arrived and attacked Yun Jai. Still reeling from her emotional turmoil, she was overwhelmed by their combined assault and coughed up blood. She rushed into combat with the Serpent Men. An elder blamed Yun Jai, the sect leader, for aggressively barging into the Serpent Men's territory and causing chaos without an apology. It turned out she was there on Gu He's commission to seize the strange fire, explaining her intrusion. Her speed was remarkable. The serpent men couldn't fight her individually, so they joined forces and formed a seal. This was the serpent men's fusion technique, the 5 serpent venomous killing seal. Meanwhile, Xiao Yan talked with Yao Chen. When he'd called out to her for help earlier, he realized her kind heart as she left him the heart protecting inner armor. However, she didn't understand the strange fire's importance to him. He was looking for a safe place to absorb it when suddenly, a beam of light erupted in the distance, precisely where they had parted ways. Yao Chen sensed the aura of 5 serpent men Du Wangs and guessed they were using their fusion technique. She knew it would be troublesome even for Yan Zhai to handle. Xiao Yan wanted to quickly hide the strange fire and go help her. At the beam's location, a portal appeared, and an incredibly powerful aura emerged. A terrifyingly large spirit serpent flew out. Yan Zhai tried to prevent it from leaving the void, but failed. It attacked her. The serpent men, using their lifespan to power the 5 serpent venomous killing seal, had summoned the spirit serpent, hoping to trap her. She flew up and used wind extreme, but couldn't defeat the spirit serpent and was critically injured. Just as she was in mortal danger, Xiao Yan appeared and saved her, though his face was covered, so she didn't recognize him. The situation changed drastically. His strange fire could suppress the spirit serpent's flames, and he quickly vaporized it. Seeing they were outmatched, the serpent men used their serpent transformation technique to escape. He quickly left, and she watched him go, hoping to see that young man again. Xiao Yan then found a cave he'd prepared to absorb the strange fire. Yao Chen instructed him to draw the fire closer, grab it with his bare hands, and locate the fire seed within. With his 3-year agreement approaching, he was determined to succeed. The fire's temperature was terrifying. It could incinerate a large city in an hour. After much effort, Xiao Yan finally grasped the fire seed. Millennia of accumulated power were concentrated within it. If it fully erupted, even a Duzong expert would perish. To subdue it, he had to swallow it. Thanks to the bone-chilling spring, he wasn't incinerated. On the Du Kai continent, the disparity between cultivation techniques is determined by the absorption process of Du Kai within the Danshan, the difference in the quality of Du Kai and natural energy absorbed during cultivation, the efficiency of refining Du Kai, and the speed and fluidity of using Du Kai in battle. Cultivation techniques are ranked from highest to lowest: heaven, earth, profound, and yellow. Cultivators of higher-tier techniques vastly surpass those with lower-tier techniques. The higher the level of the technique, the more substantial the benefits. While absorbing the fallen heart flame, Xiao Yan lost consciousness. In his delirium, he recalled the humiliation of being rejected from his engagement 2 years prior, fueling his determination to succeed. Refining the fallen heart flame could enhance his combat prowess, but wouldn't directly increase his cultivation level. After considerable effort, he finally succeeded, and his injuries were fully healed. Yao Chen then asked him to throw a punch so he could assess his strength. To everyone's surprise, Xiao Yan had reached the Du Shi 4-star level. If he were a Du Ling or Du Wang, the increase would have been even more significant, a truly substantial gain. Xiao Yan rejoiced at finally possessing the fallen heart flame. Meanwhile, Xiao Lai was furious. The Sand Scorpion mercenary band had brazenly humiliated him in public and taken King Lin. He wanted to confront Lu Bo and demand her return when Zhu Lan arrived, covered in wounds. She informed him that the Sand Scorpion mercenary band had surrounded their headquarters and threatened to massacre the Modi mercenary band if they didn't surrender within a day. The next day, Xiao Yan began cultivating the Burning Sky Kai method. Advancing this technique required continuously absorbing different types of heavenly flames, a process as dangerous as courting death, given the devouring nature of the Earth Core Flame within the Green Lotus Core Flame. If the Burning Sky Kai method couldn't evolve, he would have to abandon it. He resolved to persevere in its cultivation. Yao Chen hoped he would succeed, promising to find other ways to make him a peak expert if the refinement failed. Entering the training space within the ring, Xiao Yan retrieved the Earth Core Flame, intending to merge it with the Burning Sky Kai method. However, the Fallen Heart Flame resisted fusion and attempted to escape. Xiao Yan had to subdue it by force. Their struggle nearly caused the cave to collapse. Seeing this, Yao Chen intervened. Initially, he had taken Xiao Yan as a disciple to absorb his Du Kai, but Xiao Yan's willingness to die for him had changed everything. Now, he was willing to risk everything for Xiao Yan, After a grueling effort, Xiao Yan finally succeeded and collapsed from exhaustion. Upon waking, Yao Chen congratulated him, confirming that the Burning Sky Kai method could indeed absorb different heavenly flames, proving Xiao Yan's boundless potential. Yao Chen, however, admitted he didn't understand the technique, wondering what madman had created such a thing and lamenting the hardships he endured to find it in that damned place. With only 2 months remaining until the 3-year agreement, Xiao Yan was ready. He immediately set off to find Hai Bodong. Hai Bodong looked at the map, wondering what secrets it held. At that moment, Xiao Yan arrived. Although he had obtained the Desert Soul Bell, he needed to refine an unsealing pill for Hai Bodong before the old man would hand over the map. Hai Bodong led him to the bottom of the desert, to a secret space sealed by his own ice. The method and materials for refining the pill were already prepared. The process of pill refining wasn't always guaranteed to succeed, and alchemists weren't held responsible for failures. Hai Bodong understood this well. Absolute silence was required during refinement, so the old man stood guard outside. Xiao Yan summoned his teacher, Yao Chen, to assist him. Yao Chen encouraged Xiao Yan to observe closely during the process, as it would greatly benefit his alchemy skills. He then produced a refining cauldron called the Black Demon Cauldron. A good cauldron was crucial for an alchemist, significantly increasing the chance of success. He began refining the pill while Xiao Yan watched intently. Yao Chen added a piece of ice condensed from bone-chilling fire into the cauldron. If someone ingested the pill, this ice would enter their body, normally remaining dormant. However, if activated by Yao Chen's own strange fire, the ice would transform into bone-chilling cold fire, possessing immense destructive power. This was a precaution against betrayal, a self-preservation tactic for alchemists. After some time, the pill was successfully refined. It contained a wondrous power, presumably the key to breaking the seal. Outside, a worried Hai Bodong was about to check in when Xiao Yan emerged, offering him the unsealing pill and requesting the map. Hai Bodong, wanting to verify the pill's effectiveness, insisted on testing it first. Xiao Yan conceded, reminding him that this was his final compromise. Hai Bodong swallowed the pill, breaking the seal and increasing his strength to do Huang. He looked at Xiao Yan, impressed that such a young man could refine a 6th-grade pill. Such a genius was better as an ally than an enemy. He then handed over the map as promised. In Rock Desert City, members of the Desert Sand Mercenary Band, along with Mo Ran, arrived to take control. 2 brothers challenged him, but they were no match. Just as they were in danger, Xiao Yan appeared and intervened. They were surprised to see La Bu with such a powerful 1-star Du Grandmaster, especially since Xiao Yan was only a 6-star Du Grandmaster. Xiao Yan attacked Mo Ran, but was knocked to the ground. Angered, he grabbed Mo Ran's leg, launched him into the air, and slammed him face first into the ground. Mo Ran activated his Du Kai armor, a skill only Du Grandmasters possessed, but Xiao Yan vowed to shatter his turtle shell. As they clashed, Xiao Yan used his strange fire, leaving Mo Ran stunned. Xiao Yan was steadily becoming a formidable force. The next day, Hai Bodong dragged La Bo by the scruff of his neck to Xiao Yan. After giving him a thorough beating, La Bo finally confessed that the Yancheng Mo clan was responsible. The girl had been captured by Mo Ran, the great elder of the Mo clan. Furthermore, he revealed that the Mo clan had provided additional manpower to help them dominate Stone Desert City on one condition: the complete eradication of the Mo Tai mercenary group. Xiao Yan had heard of the Yancheng Mo clan. Hai Bodong explained that they were one of the 4 great clans in the northeastern region of the Jia Ma Empire. While their power wasn't on par with the Nalin clan, they were still a force to be reckoned with. The strongest member of the Mo clan was their clan head, Mo Cheng, self-proclaimed as Swift Hand Mo. In his youth, Mo Cheng had joined the Misty Cloud Sect. Though he later returned to the Mo clan, he continued to profit by using his status as an outer disciple of the Misty Cloud Sect. The Misty Cloud Sect was arguably the Mo clan's greatest backing. King Lin had been brought to the Mo clan estate. Mo Cheng personally inspected her and then released his black demon snake, which she promptly subdued. The 3 flowered green snake pupils were indeed the bane of snake-type magical beasts. Mo Cheng was overjoyed. He planned to wait until the end of his longevity banquet that evening to begin his experiments. Everyone who knew about King Lin's existence, including the Sand Mercenary group, would be eliminated. Once his experiments were successful, no one in the Jiama Empire would be able to oppose him. Having overheard Hai Bodong's analysis, Xiao Yan decided to rescue King Lin immediately. On their way, Hai Bodong sensed Xiao Yan emitting a Du Huang-level aura. This was Xiao Yan's secret, so he couldn't explain it. Because he had just been unsealed, Hai Bodong needed time to recover his full strength, as he had years ago. Xiao Yan suggested using the Soul Recovery Pill. While not a particularly high-level pill, being only a 5th tier, its ingredients were extremely rare. It could help those whose strength had been diminished by seals or severe injuries to fully recover. Hai Bodong agreed to protect Xiao Yan for 1 year in exchange for the Soul Recovery Pill. Having struck this bargain, the two continued on their journey. By nightfall, they arrived at the heavily guarded Mo clan estate. Having spent time with King Lin, Xiao Yan was familiar with her aura. He used his spiritual power to locate her within the estate. As they reached the entrance to a secret chamber, Hai Bodong noticed that the door had been shattered by a Du Kai-infused fist. They decided to investigate. Inside, they found the guards dead, killed by a single blow. They deduced that the perpetrator possessed Du Huang-level strength, comparable to their own. Descending further, they encountered a foul stench, the smell of magical beasts and humans being experimented on by Mo Cheng. Xiao Yan used his spiritual power again to search for King Lin, but she wasn't there. He decided to confront Mo Cheng and force him to reveal King Lin's location, intending to expose his monstrous nature before everyone. Before leaving, Hai Bodong instructed Xiao Yan to take a vial containing the remnants of the experimental magical beasts as evidence. Meanwhile, Mo Cheng was hosting a banquet, inviting various influential figures to attend. The Misty Cloud sect had also sent Nellen Yanren to offer congratulations. She entered with Elder Cat D I-1EC7P. Hai Bodong and Xiao Yan had already arrived, discovering the banquet below. This gathering was not only for his birthday, but also for a major event, the establishment of the Mo Alliance. All the powers in the northeastern region of the Jiama Empire were together, sharing both fortune and misfortune. Amidst the fervent support of the crowd, Xiao Yan suddenly entered, declaring that he had no right to establish the Mo Alliance. His subordinates rushed in to surround Xiao Yan, but he repelled them with a single move. He immediately used his suction palm to seize the man and force him to reveal the location of the King Lin. When the man invoked the Yunlan sect for protection, Xiao Yan retorted that Yun was truly blind to have misjudged him. If he didn't hand over the King Lin, Xiao Yan would bathe the Mo clan in blood. The stubborn old man feigned ignorance and received a punch that shattered his jaw. Nellen Yanren, seeing Xiao Yan provoke her master, Yun, became furious. Her anger only fueled Xiao Yan's own rage. Mo Cheng continued to spout righteous words, further garnering Nellen Yanren's support. The Yunlan sect, she declared, would not allow him to be wronged. Unable to reason with words, Xiao Yan presented evidence that terrified everyone, leaving Mo Cheng speechless. At this moment, Hai Bodong appeared. Xiao Yan approached them, presenting the evidence as a product of Mo clan experimentation. If they still didn't believe him, he offered to take them to the Mo clan's laboratory for a tour. Nellen Yanren stated that the Yunlan sect would no longer involve itself with the Mo clan's affairs and left. Then, Mo Cheng transformed into a half-human, half-beast monster, causing the crowd to flee in terror. Mo Cheng justified his actions, claiming that whether it was experimentation or forbidden techniques, there was nothing wrong with his pursuit of power. The Yunlan sect had always dominated the region because they possessed a Du Huang expert. Xiao Yan could act so brazenly because his strength surpassed Mo Cheng's. He had devoured the souls of others to enhance his power, yet he was still no match for Xiao Yan. To become even stronger, he needed to consume the King Lin. He then created a barrier, preventing Xiao Yan and Hai Bodong from entering. Hai Bodong had never encountered such a powerful defense. It was an isolation barrier, capable of blocking attacks below the Du Zong level once activated. Even the power of a different fire couldn't penetrate it. Mo Cheng approached the King Lin. Once he consumed the 3-flowered green snake pupil, he would complete his final evolution. Then, no one would be his match. Just as he opened his mouth to laugh, the King Lin was snatched away by Lu Man. The barrier shattered, and Lu Man flew off with the King Lin. Seeing this, Xiao Yan and Hai Bodong gave chase, followed by Mo Cheng. Despite being obstructed by two Du Huangs, Lu Man remained undaunted. Single-handedly, she was able to overpower both of them. Meanwhile, Mo Cheng took advantage of the situation to seize King Lin. Seeing Mo Cheng injure the Heavenly Snake Mansion's saintess, King Lin, Lu Man attacked Mo Cheng to rescue her. However, a portion of King Lin's soul had already been extracted. Lu Man had to bring her back to the sacred pool for restoration, using the mansion's secret techniques to replenish her missing soul fragment. Mo Cheng, still alive, reappeared. Xiao Yan immediately entrusted King Lin to Lu Man, urging her to escape with her. He and Hai Bodong then engaged Mo Cheng in battle. Xiao Yan used the Earth Core Flame Lotus, believing it would incinerate Mo Cheng, but he emerged unscathed and easily repelled both of them. He then pursued Lu Man to recapture King Lin, but before he could succeed, Hai Bodong encased him in ice. Xiao Yan sought a way to deal the final blow. Just as Hai Bodong was about to falter, Xiao Yan fused two different types of heavenly flames. Hai Bodong feared for Xiao Yan's life, but with his unwavering determination and the guidance of his teacher, Yao Chen, he successfully merged the flames. Yao Chen remarked that Xiao Yan truly was a constant source of surprises. Xiao Yan named the newly formed flame Buddha's Fury Lotus. The fiery lotus hurtled towards Mo Cheng. Despite unleashing a barrage of attacks, he was unable to stop it. The Buddha's Fury Lotus struck him and detonated. The destructive power of the explosion was so immense that Yao Chen had to intervene to save Xiao Yan's life. However, in doing so, Yao Chen depleted his spiritual energy and could no longer maintain his soul form, falling into a deep slumber. He expressed his pride in having Xiao Yan as his disciple before fading away. Xiao Yan blamed himself for recklessly using the Buddha's Fury Lotus. Hai Bodong then carried Xiao Yan away from the scene.